Growing up, I had this instinctive sense to create two versions of myself. One version that was acceptable for my family, where I didn't act too American, and another for the American world, where I wasn't too Indian. When I was in the 6th grade, my mother had packed an Indian lunch for me, curried potatoes wrapped in a roti. As I unwrapped the foil for my Indian burrito, the smell of curry hit the courtyard, and the kids all started making fun of me. Ugh, what's that smell? Gross. Why is it yellow? Joey Maxwell, the boy that I had this huge crush on, told me that my lunch smelled like body odor. As hungry as I was, I quietly put my lunch away and I drank my Capri Sun. Home was the flip side version of the same. My aunties and uncles warned me not to become a coconut. Brown on the outside, white in the center. I was getting these messages that I couldn't just be myself. Huge parts of me needed to stay hidden depending on who I was with and what I was doing. And that's just kind of how I grew up and came to be, straddling both worlds, never finding sure footing in either. 6th grade lunch fiasco aside, food has always been my happy place. As a kid, I would binge watch cooking shows on PBS, and I would dream about traveling to all those faraway places to eat all that delicious food I would see on TV. As Tina Fey would say, I want to go there. Food was my bridge to experiencing other cultures and allowed me to escape into a world that was far beyond the confines of our little living room in Monterey. Jacques Pepin and Julia Child took me to France. Martin Yan allowed me to explore China. Lydia and Marcella led me through Italy. And a sari-clad Mater Jaffrey told me that Indian food was indeed worth celebrating. Joey Maxwell could just suck it. For someone who has spent her entire career studying a sense of place, I had disregarded my own terroir. It was that duality of having to play two versions of myself, one Indian and one American, that had finally caught up with me. That was the feeling of nothingness and that vital something that I felt was missing. For my need for acceptance, it had made me feel invisible. In my quest to assimilate, I had erased major portions of myself. I had spent so much time studying the food and drinks of other cultures, yet how was it that I knew next to nothing of my own? This was a huge revelation to me, especially at a time in our country where much of our national conversation revolves around where some of us come from and whether we have a right to occupy the space we're in. Each of us has come about in our own personal terroir, that unique combination of growing conditions, family climate, cultural exposure, and ancestral roots that can't be replicated anywhere else. It's what makes us who we are. It's what made me what I am. And I'm talking the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. And when we deny these huge portions of ourselves, either by our own accord or through these insidious messages that we receive in our society, that is when we lose ourselves. That is when we are not able to bring our unique contributions to the table. Those unique gifts that truly make this country great.